Hello everybody! Welcome to Agashi Review, where I review movies, dramas that you don't want to waste your time watching. I'll give you a synopsis, shorts review, along with my thoughts and opinions. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe and leave a comment below. Now let's go into the review. Hello everybody, Agashi here today. So today I'm doing a K-drama review on the drama called Snowdrop. So a lot of things has been going on about this drama and it took forever to come out. So it's finally here. I was able to watch the first 4 episodes of it and I'll be very honest, I actually really do like it. So I really do look forward to see how it turns out. So let's hope it goes through until the end. I haven't been really paying attention to what the drama is about, to any of the trailer, to any of the news, besides it was just delayed on airing. But anyways, it has a total of 16 episodes and it airs Friday through Sunday. I'm very surprised that it has 3-day slot, you know. But I'm going to be going over the cast synopsis in the first 4 episodes with you guys. As for our cast, we have Jung Hae-in as Im Soo-ho or Im Soo-hyuk, and Kim Ji-soo as Eun Yong-rong, and Yoon In-na as Kang Chang-yang, and Chang So-ju as Lee Kang-moo, Yoo Se-young as Pil Sung-hee, and Kim Hae-yoon as I can't say her last name, Kim Bong-ok, and then Jung Yoo-jin as Chang Ha-na, Hyo Jung-ho as Eun Chang-soo, Park Sung-won as Nam Chang-il, Jung Shin-hae as Gu Hae-ryung, Kim Mi-soo as Yo Jung-min, and Choi Hee-jin as Yoon So-hee. And there's tons of other people, their wives, other people in the security, police people, all these the other extra students, Soo-ho's people, his team, and everything like that. But as for the synopsis, this drama sets a time in the 1987. A bloody man jumps into a women's university dorm in Seoul. Yoro, a female student, university student who falls in love with him at first sight at a group blind date, takes care of him despite the strict surveillance and dangerous situation. However, she is shocked to learn his secret. Despite heartbreakingly watching over his first love, Yoro, Soo-ho has no choice but to move according to the command in order to save his team members and to go back to his home country where his siblings awaits him. Yoro rejects the will of her father and works hand in hand with Soo-ho to save her beloved man and her friends. What will happen to their fate? So I have no idea about this. Like, I watched the drama without going into any details of whatsoever. So it is going to be a pretty long review of this, recap of this, but bear with me, and if I do get anything wrong, comment in below, because I'm kind of confused of this and just kind of try to grasp onto what I can in my understanding. But recap on the first 4 episodes. The drama starts us off with the spring of 1987 at the Hosu Women's University, and dorm room 207 gets a call, which is Yoro. She races to the front desk to take the call. Next, we move on to the members of the Amin party, having their social anniversary party, and the people attending are like the Secretary General, which is Nam Tae-il, and a power struggle director of the Agency of the National Security Planning, ANSP. That's like, it's kind of like NIS, but way back then. Eun Chang-soo. Both men don't get along. Even though Nam Tae-il is younger, he's more favored by the presidential and the candidates and all these higher ups than Chang-soo. So the wife of Chang-soo does not like her husband, who has to always be below of Tae-il, as we get to see that a lot of the wives hang out and they do look down on Eun Chang-soo's wife a lot. Anyways, we get introduced to the ANSP headquarters, where the legendary Black Tiger agent Lee Kang-moo is back in Seoul to chase a North Korean spy that he's been chasing since Germany, and this North Korean spy goes by the name Tae Taedong River 1. And there's another agent, Jung Hana, who is shocked to hear the news about Lee Kang-woo's returning. She joins the team to help catch this North Korean spy. Apparently, the two had a love line in the past, and Lee Kang-woo left her without a word, and now she, it's been 6 years, she's still hurt. She kind of wants an answer why. Anyways, we move on to see Im Suho hanging out the rooftop with a bunch of graduate students, singing and barbecuing, and we get a little bit of background about him, that he graduated from Berlin University in Germany with a degree of economics, and he returned back to Korea to complete his thesis paper, and he wants to meet with Professor Hung, who Professor Hung has a TA, Kwang Tae, and Suho is trying to get set up with to meet this professor, but he's having a difficult time, and he's always begging Kwang Tae to help him. Anyways, Hyeong is a very well-known girl among guys, and she is asked to go on a blind date with Kwang Tae and his 3 friends. Book Ok, who really wants to go, she's the same age as the rest of the girl, but she never went to college. She works at the dorm, kind of like a secretary to the hall director and all this stuff like that, And she convinces Yong-ro to help convince Hyung to bring her along to the blind date. The 4 girls goes on a blind date with these 4 guys. First glance, Yong-ro and Suho meet. She immediately falls in love with him, but Bo-ok takes the chance to date him instead. And Yoro rejects her date and goes to the music store, where she embarrasses herself and she bumps into Suho. She doesn't have the money to pay for her cassette tape, so she leaves. He buys it and gives it for her. She wanted to return to him. As she follows him, he starts to hide when he sees the police. We start to see him a little bit suspicious and hiding. She ends up helping him, and he gets away. She doesn't know anything and thinks that he caused some trouble, or he was trying to do something, and all these stuff like that, because she's like, my older brother went through the same thing. He got in trouble for something he didn't do, or stuff like that, how society is, and now he's in the military. But honestly, Suho is actually the North Korean spy that Kang-woo is after. So she helps him as a way to repay her back. He gives her the cassette tape. She doesn't like to be in debt, so she asks to see him for dinner tomorrow, but he never show up. She's sad and hung over him. She's so in love with him. Anyways, time move on, and it's like winter, and it's like the protests in the society, and Rose friend, which is Jungmin, she's one of the protesters. Before getting caught out there, she races back to the dorm. At the same time, Suho got close to Professor Hung during these past couple months that has passed by, and it was D-Day for his mission, but he almost got caught by Kang-woo and his team. Suho was hurt and injured, and he runs into the women's dorm, and he enters into Yoro's room. During this time, the hall director P announces to lock down, and all the girls rushes to their room, finding Suho in there. Remembering him from the blind date, Yoro begs them to help, and as she states that he's probably one of the protesters that got caught. Jungmin agrees because she was one of the protesters too, and she was getting chased. Police was there. So the girl hides him and goes through a very difficult night trying to hide him, and he's constantly bleeding from his gun wound, and they get help from the janitor Haraboji, and they end up hiding him on the rooftop where the previous hall director lived, and rumor has it that she hung herself and died in the room. While Suho is hiding and recovering from his injury, Yuron sneaks in food and other necessary things for him to use, and she really likes him, and she won't let him go until he recovers. He doesn't plan to leave soon anyways, because the police are surrounding the place. There's only one entrance and one way in and out to the university, and he has to recover so he can outrun the police. During this time, the both of them, they spend time together, and she falls madly in love with him, and both learn a little bit about each other, but he still keeps his identity a secret from her. But during this time, things are very crazy at the Amin party, where we learn that Nam Tae-il and Eun Chang-sung are both working on a project called Operation Phoenix, which they're a joint operation with the North Korea, and they're providing funds for the North Korean spies to abduct Professor Hung and fame the other parties so that they can win the presidential election. So this is where Suho comes into the picture. Operation Phoenix is on hold and short on funding as the mission has not been completed, and the ASP people, security people, are catching on. So Chang-sung has to Chang-soo has to force Kyu-hui, who was in charge of the ANSP headquarters, to pull out the operation that Kang-moo is doing so that Suho can complete his mission, so they can carry on with their Operation Phoenix. Things get more and more worse as we learn that Tae and Chang-sung has been working with this Chinese president's guy, who this whole time we learn that Suho's father, and tons of politics going on. So a lot of things going on. But yeah, anyways, moving on, we continue to see Suho hiding, living on the rooftop, causing some trouble, and it's time for him to go. The open house for the dorm is right around the corner, and it's the only time men are invited over, so it's the only window to get him to escape. During this time, Yoron goes back home to get her brother's suit for Suho, so he can have fresh new clothes to wear instead of his bloody clothes, so that when he escapes, he won't get caught. We learn that she's Eun Chang-sung's daughter, and because of not getting along with her stepmother, her brother and her moved out to live with their grandmother. She's actually a rich politician's daughter. So on the day of the open house, Kwang Tae appears as he previously got caught by the national security people, and for working with Suho. He plans to get Suho and turn him in so that he can be free, you know, or not have the police behind him chasing him all the time. So the girls has to be very careful to try to get him Suho out, but if any of the guys from the blind date shows up, they recognize him. At the same time, Bunol cannot see him too because he rejected her on the blind date. So there's so much crap going on, and they're like trying to just help him escape, and he escapes. He leaves behind his necklace to Yoro to ensure him that she's safe while he's gone, and to thank her for helping him. Suho returns back to his secret hideout and must carry out his mission now. We learn that Professor Hong is a North Korean defect, and Suho is trying to bring him back to the north, and there's tons of defects out there, like Bunwok is actually one of them, and Ajushi and I, we think that the hall director P might be one of them. If not, she was involved with a North Korean in her past. Everybody is like suspicious right now. Anyways, Bangok eventually learned that Yeon was actually hiding Suho on the rooftop, and she was harboring a spy. So she calls Kang-woo's team to give information so she could get like her 50 million won, and so that she could leave working the university. Hall director P overhears the conversation and ends it that she must learn her position, that she's a defect, she should be careful, nobody out there wants her, you know. Learning the truth that I was actually hiding the spy that the police is looking for, she takes all the blame for, and she gets kicked out of the door. Having to leave, and she hasn't been able to hear any message from Suho, constantly waiting, she writes a message and she folds into a paper airplane, throws out her window. She's like constantly doing that, so there's like a bunch of paper plane like outside, like over the fence and everything in the forest, because where their window opens up to, it's like the forest. It's just a forest behind them. And so Suho is about to complete his mission, but he must go and pick up the stashed cash and weapons in the forest behind the dorm. He went alone, and on his way he sees the dorm, and he sees there like a bunch of paper airplanes, and he picks up one of them, reads, and kind of hesitates. Oh, that's Ajashi. Sorry about that. The police gets a tip and surrounds him, so he has no choice but to enter into the dorm so he can escape. And in doing so, he's trapped, and he meets Yeonrong. She learns that he's a North Korean spy, and he takes her as hostage. So that ends it for us for the first 4 episodes. I just saw clips of it. I actually didn't go watch the episode 5 and 6. I just saw clips of it, and you know, he's in love with her, he cares about her, but you know, he has to complete his mission. His duty is to his country, and for her, like, you know, it's like a lot of things going on. She doesn't want to believe him, but she was so in love with him, you know. So it's like this love story mixed with politics stuff like that back in the 1980s. So it's like that. But so far, Ajushi and I were really looking forward to see how it's gonna turn out, because Ajushi's like, how can she still love him after she already found out that he's the North Korean spy? And it's like, well, you just look at it, she's still in love with him. I think she doesn't care, you know. It doesn't seem like she cares. But I mean, I started going back and watching some trailer. It looks like she does kill him or whatever for her country. I don't know, so we'll see how it turns out. But I mean, so far the drama is really good, the story and everything like that. And there's like, everybody's so suspicious, and like it just makes you go, oh my god, like this person, that person, like, oh seriously, whoa, like, oh, who would have thought this would happen, who would have thought they would have done this. So there's so much going on, and really do looking forward to see how it turns out. And I'm actually very glad it's actually 3 episodes a week, so it does pick up the pace faster. So I know everybody is excited for it and everybody is watching it. And to me, honestly, I look at it that Jisoo's acting is really good. I did not expect this out of her, and I walked into this drama without expectation, honestly, without any expectation, and so far it's meeting my expectation. I really like it. I will see how it turns out. I am weighing out on the 50-50 that it might not be a happy ending, so we'll see. But it's such a long review, and it was so much, like, first time I actually watch 4 episodes of a Korean drama and review it for you guys instead of just 2. It's just, I needed to get more information, because it's like the first 2 I was so lost, like, walking into it. Ajushi and I were just so confused, so I actually ended up watching 4 episodes to kind of get an idea of what everything is going on, the whole point of the story and the drama and everything. But really do looking forward to see how this is gonna turn out. If I'm wrong somewhere, if I missed something, or if any of my explanation is wrong, please give me explanation in the comments below. More than welcome to do that. I accept that. So I'll be like, oh, so that's what this is, so that's what happened. So yeah, do let me know. But that's it for today's drama review, and I will see you guys next time.